I have 2 more? 3 more. I may not have to go through all of them. Okay, my next one here. 2x minus 1 divided into 2x to the 4th minus x to the 3rd minus 2x plus 1. Okay, so we divide 2x into 2x to the 4th, or what do I multiply 2x by to get 2x to the 4th, and that's x to the 3rd. And I multiply through. X to the 3rd times 2x is 2x to the 4th. X to the 3rd times minus 1 is minus x to the 3rd. At this point, in long division, you are subtracting, which is the same thing as changing the signs and adding. When I add, the first terms cancel, as they always should. If they don't, then you've done something wrong. In this particular problem, the second terms also cancel. That's okay. It's less work for us. So instead of bringing down the next one term, bring down the next 2 terms. And I do my process. 2x divided into negative 2x. Or, again, what would I multiply 2x minus 1 by to make it negative 2x? And that would be minus 1. And I multiply through. Negative 1 times 2x is negative 2x. Negative 1 times negative 1 is positive 1. At this point in long division, you are subtracting, which is the same thing as changing the signs and adding. The first term cancels, as it always should. If it doesn't, you've done something wrong. The second term also cancels, and I end up with no remainder. So if weird things happen, that's okay. Weird things are going to happen. Question on that one? Okay, this is a weirder one. This one we do some skipping on, so this is a little bit different, definitely. Okay, so I start with my 2x squared. 2x squared divided into 12x to the 4th, or if it's easier for you to say, what do I multiply 2x squared by to make it 12x to the 4th? And that's going to be 6x squared. I multiply through. 6x squared times 2x squared is 12x to the 4th. 6x squared times positive 1 is positive 6x squared. Notice where I'm going to write that. I'm going to write it under the other x squared term so that they match, so I can actually add and subtract there. At this point we subtract, which means we change the signs and add. The first term cancels, as it always should. If it doesn't, you've done something wrong, and positive 2 and negative 6 give me negative 4x squared. Now, we skipped over the 8x to the 3rd, so we're going to bring it down now in front of the term. Leave this stuff in order. This is why being really organized is kind of important. So that's going to come down now in front. Don't move it behind there because that order is important. 4, 3, 2. This is in order. So bring the 8x to the 3rd down and leave it in front. And now we repeat. I wrote it, it's just behind. Now. It's close. Okay. 2x squared divided into 8x to the third. So what do I multiply 2x squared by to get 8x to the third? And that's a positive 4x. And I multiply through. 4x times 2x squared is 8x to the third. 4x times positive 1 is a positive 4x. There is no x term. So I'm going to put in there a 0x. So I have a placeholder. Or you could leave it blank, that wouldn't matter. At this point in long division, you are subtracting, which means I'm going to change my signs and add. So the first term cancels, as it always should. If it doesn't, you've done something wrong. And 0 minus 4 is a minus 4x. And I skipped over this, so I bring it down now, in front again. And I go again. What am I going to multiply 2x squared by to make it negative 4x squared? Negative 2. And I multiply through. Negative 2 times 2x squared is negative 4x squared. Negative 2 times positive 1 is negative 2. There's no constant term. So again, I'm going to fill in a 0. At this point in long division, you are subtracting, which means I'm going to change my signs and add. The first term cancels, as it always should. If it doesn't, you've done something wrong. 0 and 2 is 2. I skipped over the negative 4x, so I bring it down now. That is a positive 2. 2x squared will not divide into negative 4x. So you're done. That's your remainder, which I write as plus negative 4x plus 2 over 2x squared plus 1. And I'm going to finish with that one because the last question is very similar to that one. It's just longer, but it's very similar because you skip over stuff. Okay? Actually, you skip over more things, I think. Okay, some questions. Okay, you have 4 problems for homework.